Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm TKA Brew. Gale is a brand new brawler that's just been released inside of Brawl Stars. We're going to be going over stats and everything you need to know about Gale, including his second star power, which hasn't been released. So you want to stick to the very end to hear about that, along with 5 tips to make you the very best Gale brawler there is. Let's begin with Gale's stats. He fires 5 snowballs in a wide pattern and has a long range to his shots. Only 3 snowballs can hit a single target, so to do max damage, you're going to want to hit multiple targets at once. The good news is because of how wide Gale's shots are, it's very easy to hit brawlers. Each snowball does 360 damage at level 1 and 504 damage at level 9. Meaning if you hit all 5 snowballs, the maximum amount of damage you can do is 2,520, but you can't hit all 5 onto one brawler, so the max damage you can do to a single brawler is 1,512, allowing you to 3-shot some brawlers and not others. With a 1.4 second reload speed, it puts him at an above average reload amongst all the brawlers. As for Gale's health, he's actually quite beefy for a frail old man, starting out at 3,400 health at level 1 and going up all the way up to 4,760 at level 9, putting him in the middle of the pack for health. Gale's super is very interesting. As it is very wide, it's also a very long shot. He can hit multiple brawlers with it, and it can pass through walls. Upon hitting, it does a very small amount of damage, doing 100 damage at level 1, and goes up to 140 damage at level 9, meaning if you need to poke someone at extremely low health, you can kill them with your super, but the super is best used to push someone away or towards something. Gale's gadget is probably one of the most unique inside of Brawl Stars. He can drop a launch pad anywhere on the map. He can only ever place one at a time, but they do last forever, but do reset between each round. He has 3 uses of his gadget, and the big thing to note is whenever you place the gadget, the arrow will point wherever you place it. So if you're facing forward, the gadget will place forward. If you're facing backwards, the arrow will point backwards for you. Gale currently only has 1 star power released in this game as of recording this video. The second star power, which I have read about, hasn't been released yet, so it is subject to possibly change. His first star power, Blustery Blow, stuns an opponent that has been knocked against the wall with his super for half a second. His second star power, Second Wind, gives a team boost of 2 seconds for whoever's been hit by Gale's super. It doesn't affect the enemy team, it only gives the 2-second boost to your team. As for which game mode I would take Gale into, I personally believe Gale can actually work in any game mode, so I would focus more on what the map looks like compared to what the game mode is. Gale is a long-range brawler, which means he's going to have a lot of hard times on maps with a lot of walls and a close-range maps. Because he is a long-range brawler, he doesn't have as much health as the tanks, and the throwers could easily pick him apart. So focus more on maps than the game mode, because Gale is very versatile. His launch pad and super make him ideal for lots of different game modes. Escapes inside of gem grab and knocking people off the ball in Brawl Ball. Consistent damage with that wide shot. So the best thing to focus on is maps over modes with Gale. Lastly, my 5 tips to help you play Gale. Number 1, Gale is a auto-fire friendly brawler, which means you can tap away and you're most likely going to hit all your shots because of how long his shots are and how wide his shots are. Number 2, use your super to your advantage, as in you can push other brawlers towards your tanks, or you can push them away from yourself. So you have this opportunity to really control another brawler for pushing and pulling and placing them in lines of fire. So make sure you use your super wisely. Number 3, his gadget is very good at getting your team back into the game, especially game modes like Siege or like Gem Grab. If you place one at the start where you guys spawn, you can easily jump on that and get straight back into the action after you die. So a gadget at the start or your spawn is very good. Number 4, you're playing solo showdown or duo showdown. Using your super to knock enemies into the smoke is to your advantage. It does 1,000 damage per tick inside the smoke, and your super only does 140 maxed out, so you do a lot more damage with your super, knocking them into the smoke, and then you also have a chance to take more shots at them as they try to run back in. And lastly, number 5, your super does knock you back a little tiny bit. So this advanced gameplay technique would allow you to dodge shots if you're not going to be able to move fast enough to get out of the way of rockets or anything like that. So if you could practice dodging shots with Gale's super while doing damage and all that kind of stuff, it'll definitely help you in your more high-level gameplays if you have a quick eye to dodge shots with it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn that notification bell on. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.